Man, Ramblin Man Fair, it was the first festival that ever asked us to come be a main stage headliner, and we did that in 2016. And to be able to get asked to come back and do it again tonight, we were over the moon. And then when we saw the special guest was Cheap Trick, we were like, oh shit, how does this work again? How do we play after Cheap Trick? Like, this is ridiculous. I'm just looking forward to seeing what all kind of crazy ass guitars Rick's got with him tonight, man. It's gonna be awesome. So the first PRS guitar I ever played was an early Santana SE. And it was too foreign to me. Like, I couldn't understand it because all I'd ever played were, you know, other traditional body shapes. But we were on the road and I was so tired of fighting with the guitars I was touring with every day. And I asked my guitar tech at the time, I said, man, what's the best guitar day in, day out? And he said, you don't want to hear it. Because everybody I knew played a Paul Reed Smith through a Mesa Boogie, right? And I swore I'd never be that guy. I was like, nope, I'm not gonna be that guy. And then I was like, to hell with it. Just call and see what'll happen. And he happened to call a guy named Grover, who's gone now, rest his soul. And Grover was like, I love the band. I would love to get Chris on board, you know. So he sent me out a solid white 245. And I never looked back. Once I got the guitar set up and everything the way I prefer them, it felt like home to me, you know what I mean? For a single cut guitar, there was nothing that I'd ever played that comfortable. And that's where I've been the last 8 years, man. But from there it went to, I got a 25th anniversary single cut 245, and a couple Starlas, and then we just progressed from there, you know? So in the studio, I use different guitars for different sounds. I've got like a 96 McCarty that I use for some stuff. And honestly, it's more of that single cut humbucker guitar sound than some of my single cuts. It's just got that, I mean, it's got Ted McCarty's name on it. You know, it's gonna have a certain sound about it. But that guitar I use for certain sounds, single cuts I use for certain sounds. The majority of the stuff in the studio though is either a single cut or some kind of single coil guitar, you know. But like the single cuts in the studio, so when I first started using PRS, we were out with Alter Bridge, and the guitars I would get would have the Tremonti set in them, just because, you know, Mark and Miles were the guys that were like, man, you really need to get PRS, and they kind of put in a good word for me. And we ended up, you know, going, but I ended up pulling those pickups because I prefer more of a PAF style, you know, pickup. So all my guitars, if they have the PRS pickups in them, which 90% of them do, they're all 5708s in the bridge or a 5708S. I love them both. And the neck pickup will either be a 5708 or a SE soap bar. Even my Northern Lights guitar, that's a Maryland built guitar, when they did the pickups for me in it, it's a 5708 in the bridge and an SE soap bar in the neck, because they know which ones I like better. My favorite PRS, obviously my signature guitar, any variety of that guitar is my all-time favorite guitar, just because, you know, in my eyes, the greatest guitar manufacturer of all time was willing to put out a guitar with my name on it. So on this tour, I'm currently running I've got a Strip 58 that I run with 5708s, and then 2 of the first generation signature guitars of mine with the American 5708, the UK Europe release ones. I've got a red and a blue. And then the only other thing I've got with me right now is a Nash T63 to kind of cover my single coil needs. But that's it right now, you know, I'm running that stuff. I've got a couple other guitars in storage, but I had all my bases covered, you know what I mean? I just thanks to all the PRS community for the support, and everyone at PRS, and everybody at PRS Guitar Owners Worldwide page. Thank you guys.